And so I nominate President Trump because we must make our country great again, and he can start by making the House of Representatives great again.
That was Matt Gaetz nominating Donald J. Trump for Speaker of the House because Kevin McCarthy will never make America great again. How's everybody doing today? My name is Ty with Right IQ. Thank you for joining me today. And look, I have been watching what's going on over there in the House of Representatives, and it is hilarious. I'm telling you, these 20 to 21 representatives that are holding up Kevin McCarthy from becoming Speaker, they've dug their heels in, and they are not moving an inch. Now, I'm not saying that Kevin McCarthy is not going to end up as Speaker of the House. I'm not going to be happy about it, but there's certain things that he could do to become Speaker. Number one, he could buddy up with the Democrats, which would be the death blow for his career. He can do that, and he could ride out the next 2 years or so, but I doubt very seriously he would be reelected. I just don't see it happening. The other thing that he could do is he could drop his drawers even more than he already has. But I don't think that there's a few of these 20 that are just not going to budge. They just don't want him in there. So the only other alternative is for them to get for some of them to nominate a different speaker. Now, I don't know who that would be. I'm not exactly sure. There's a few people that I hope it's not, but more than likely it's just going to be another middle of the road squishy Republican more than likely, but at least it's not Kevin McCarthy and we win that battle. But even if we end up with Kevin McCarthy or some other, Rhino light, we still win. Because the biggest thing that we need in order to have some glue in this situation as conservatives to make sure that the Speaker of the House is doing what he's supposed to do is that motion to vacate. That motion to vacate is extremely important. And if our Speaker, whoever that ends up being, does not fulfill his promises, is not acting in the best interest of the Republican Party, he can be removed. She can be removed, whoever that might be. And that's what we need to have happen. But look, guys, we're winning. We're winning because it doesn't matter what happens from this point forward. Whoever becomes Speaker of the House is going to have they're going to have a leash on them. And the conservatives in the party are going to yank that leash every single time that speaker gets out of control. So if Kevin takes it, and he doesn't take it by reaching over the aisle into the Democrats' pool, then what's going to happen is you're going to find that he's not going to be as, what do you call it? He's not going to be as tough as he thinks he is. And that's what we need, because we don't need a Rhino in there. And if we're going to have one in there, might as well have one that's been neutered. Wouldn't you say? What do you think about this? The Democrats, they know that we've won. They know that we're winning. And what they're worried about is because we have the ability to pull the reins and jerk that leash, that they are not going to be happy over these next 2 years. Take a look at this.
Let me tell you something. Jake said that he's made a cornucopia of concessions. He's surrendered. I mean, the truth of the matter is, whether the 20 want to accept it or not, they've won.
McCarthy.
They've won. Either McCarthy becomes a neutered, powerless speaker who has a sword of Damocles over his head, that could fall at any time because anybody in that body could call to vacate the chair, or someone else becomes speaker. But they have won.
David Axelrod is 100% correct. We won. There's no two ways about it. And from this point forward, with that motion to vacate in there, we have all of the power and we can make some stuff happen. And it's going to be amazing because you're going to see the Rhinos crying. You're going to see the Dems crying. And look, not that much might get done, but at least we're putting the brakes on their policies. And to be able to sit back and listen to these fools, the rhinos and the Democrats, the Uniparty, sit back there, and they're not going to be able to get their programs through. The money going to Ukraine isn't going to happen. The reins are going to be pulled in, and they're not going to like it. So even if the government comes to a complete standstill, I 100% back that up. That's exactly what I want. If we cannot move forward with our agenda, then at least we can put the brakes on for their agenda, don't you think?
Do you think if you give in to these, if McCarthy gives in here, right, to these folks, whoever's next is going to experience the exact same scenario?
My concern is not for the Republican Party. My concern is for the country.
Right.
Well, I think this is going to be, this is a precursor of an awful couple of years.
Yeah, David, it's going to be a very bad couple of years for you. At least, maybe more. And I am 100% okay with that. But back to Kevin McCarthy, like Kevin McCarthy has no business at a negotiating table. How he negotiated with the 20 that were against him, he could have closed that deal. And he could have closed it very quickly. But see, he thought he was holding all the cards. He thought for sure that there was going to be a bigger red wave than there was. And when he realized that there wasn't as big of a red wave, and he started counting the numbers, counting the votes, he realized that it was going to be a tough one. And so the Gang of 20, if I can call them that, the Gang of 20, they realized that they had the power and they took advantage of it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. They wouldn't have had any leverage any other way under any other scenario. Right now, they have all the leverage available and it's theirs. And they should use it. They should use it. And these next couple of years are going to be very bad for maybe Kevin McCarthy, the Rhino, and all the other rhinos, and it's going to be bad for the Democrats because you guys aren't going to be able to push through all this bogus agenda that you've been pushing through there. And when I talk about the rhinos, here's another guy who's not going to be very happy.
We will not vote for anyone else but McCarthy. These people think they're stubborn, we're more stubborn. They think they're not going to get the communities they want. Well, obviously they won't, but it's going to be so much worse than that. You know, they are enemies now. They have made it clear that they prefer a Democrat agenda than a Republican one.
That's what it sounds like when a rhino cries in the wild. Dan Crenshaw's a joke. He needs to go home and play with his eye patch collection because I don't have any time for him. I don't have any patience for him. See, these kind of threats that he's got, they're empty threats, right? But what are they going to do? How does that help the negotiation go forward? How is that going to help you get Kevin McCarthy in there by threatening the Gang of 20? How is that going to help you? All that's going to do is bring you guys farther apart from a deal. But he hasn't figured it out. Obviously, he hasn't read the book. Have you heard that book, The Art of the Deal? He hasn't read it. You don't go in there and start assaulting people and expect them to want to negotiate with you. That's not how deals are done.
But right now, those conservative hardliners are not going anywhere. They say they have the votes to deny McCarthy the speakership. They're not moving off of it. And in response, we're told behind closed doors, one of McCarthy's allies threatened their committee assignments, saying they would not sit on key committees if they continue to oppose McCarthy. So still playing out behind closed doors as we head into this consequential vote within 2 hours here.
You see, at this point, they have taken 10 votes as far as getting Kevin McCarthy in as Speaker of the House. 10 votes. And every single one of those 10 votes, he failed. He could have been Speaker of the House already if he didn't pretend that he was holding all the cards. But he did. And now it doesn't look like he's going to be Speaker. Now, I will tell you, I mean, he's got options. He's got choices. It's not over. He's got a few choices. Listen to this.
Kevin McCarthy's options are as follows. He continues to pound away and have vote after vote after vote. It does not seem like those holding out are about to give. Okay? Option two is he agrees to give it to somebody in leadership as long as the 20 are amenable to that. Option three, I think the completely unworkable option is make some sort of deal with the Democrats. You know, you got to order you roll con and talk about, oh, we want subpoena power and all this. That is disgusting. And anybody considering that should have no future in the Republican Party whatsoever. The American people sent Nancy Pelosi home. They retired Nancy Pelosi, okay? Yeah, she's up there right now doing the thing, but she is effectively done. And to even think about any deal with the Democrats is absolutely poisonous. And those are the options.
That was Boris Epstein from Steve Bannon's War Room. And, his analysis is pretty much spot on. You see, Kevin McCarthy, he could reach across the aisle and he could possibly peel off a couple of the Democrats and work out some sort of a deal with them. But look, that's the kiss of death.
Any notion of a cross-party or some sort of coalition is absolute nonsense. And you know what, Steve? The Democrats would never consider it. So we cannot consider it either. We've got to be tough. We've got to elect a speaker. Yes, we've got to elect a speaker.
Look, if you have to reach across the aisle and do a deal with the devil in order to become Speaker of the House, then what does that tell you about how the people that work around you feel about you? Yeah, you have quite a bit of people that are following you. And those are the people that we're probably going to be keeping our eye on because they obviously can't be trusted if they're voting Kevin McCarthy in. But with that being said, why can't we get patriots in those positions? Why is it so hard to get a MAGA candidate, America First candidate, into that position? I don't understand why it's so hard. I do understand because there's just so much corruption in the White House. There's so much corruption in Washington that corruption breeds more corruption. And so all you're going to end up with is criminals. And so, yes, we are a minority voice, but we're a strong voice over there. And we need to grow that voice, and we need to grow it and grow it and grow it, because if we don't, our country is doomed. But I will tell you, we need more people like Matt Gaetz.
This government for far too long has been deeply corrupt. This town has been deeply corrupt. The way people get leadership positions and chairmanships and opportunities to be able to morally preen has been by accepting lobbyist and special interest money and redistributing that money as currency for favors. And that is not a criticism of either political party. It is a criticism of what we have allowed to happen in this place. And if we just go next man up on our side of the aisle, we will reify that corrupt system and we will abandon the people who are expecting us to fight for them.
That was well said, Matt. I appreciate everything you said out there. It needs to be said. It needs to be said loud, and it needs to be said often. Because there is so much corruption in Washington, there has got to be a fix for that. We have got to fix that problem. And I think it needs to start with all of the money that just gets funneled into Washington. All of this money that gets tossed back and forth from big business, big pharma, big energy, all of these big conglomerates, they rely on lobbyists to go and push our politicians into places where they shouldn't be. The only place that these politicians should be getting money is from the everyday person like you and me. They shouldn't be able to accept donations from a corporation. And this is coming from a guy who owns one, right? I shouldn't be able to take my business and go dump $10, $15, $20,000 into a super PAC, and then that money gets funneled over into different politicians' pockets. That shouldn't happen. You get rid of the money, you'll fix the problem. But these politicians, this was never even supposed to be a full-time job. This was never supposed to be a career. And here they are making $250, $300. Then they get these committees and they get paid more. Then they get meet up with these lobbyists and make even more money. No wonder they come in poor and leave rich. We have to get the money out of Washington. That needs to be what happens. Term limits is one of them. See, we were never even supposed to be, it was never supposed to be a full-time job. When our government was first created, that what they would do is they would come in like 2 or 3 times a year for like a month or so, do their votes, and they would go back home to their business and run their business. So they never spent years in Washington because that wasn't the thing. The way you made your money was how you made your money when you were outside of Washington taking your votes. And so you get rid of the money and you put this back into maybe a part-time position, your problems go away. Term limits. There's another thing. Term limits. Get term limits. All of those things. And that's the one thing. None of these politicians are going to take care of any of those things that I just mentioned because they want it. They want the money. They want to make a career. They want to be rich. So they're going to go there and they're going to take care of their special interest. But that needs to stop. And the sooner the better. And then you will see America go the way it's supposed to go. That's America first. Because when these politicians start making laws that actually affect them directly, you will see changes. Like Barack Obama's affordable health care plan. But none of the people who voted for it have to use the affordable health care plan, do they? No, they don't. They make policy for companies that get traded on the stock market, and then they get to be able to trade on those same trades. They're crooks. All of them are just a bunch of crooks. But anyways, I think I have ranted enough today. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think down in their comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. Ride IQ is a new channel, so please like, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends, because we have to support each other if we're going to win this battle. And if you agree or disagree, please leave your comments below so that we can have that discussion together. And I'll see you on the next video.